One bridge option that you're going to see on our website is the Pano Bridge, which is manufactured by Noise Fighters. Today I wanted to go over the Pano Bridge, open up the box and show you what comes with the Pano Bridge, and then how you could use this to install two PVS-14's or run a thermal monocular like the MH25 along with one of your PVS-14's. So when we open up the box, it's very simple inside. There's not a whole lot going on. I'm going to pull out the Pano Bridge itself. You're going to notice that there's no quick attach points for the arms. They're just bolted in place, and you can adjust the tension on the arms, which is going to affect how easily they pivot up and out of the way. Another accessory that comes with the Pano Bridge is the MH25 rail adapter. That's this little guy right here. Inside of this particular case, there's also a sticker and a patch from Noise Fighters. One thing to keep in mind, guys, and I say this often in these product videos, the packaging and the accessories that come along with the product that you purchase could change over time. So if you're looking at this video and we're 3 years into the future, the box and some of the packaging and things like that could change, the pricing could change, and all that good stuff. The best place to look for all of the information on this Pano Bridge is at the link down in the description of this video. Swing over to our website. You're going to see all of the most up-to-date specifications, as well as all of the accessories that are going to come with this particular unit. So without further ado, guys, we are going to install two PVS-14's onto the Pano Bridge. So what you're going to notice when you look at the Pano Bridge is this is a polymer. It looks to be a 3D printed bridge setup. So the dovetail is built into the body here. You will have some ability to pan with this, and I'll dive into that a little bit here in a couple minutes. That's one of the benefits that people love about the Pano Bridge. The left arm here is going to be for obviously the left PVS-14, and on this side it's going to be for the right PVS-14. So I'm going to grab my PVS-14, orient it in a way that my objective is facing me, the piece that I look through. I will set the PVS-14 in its place, and then you'll grab a screwdriver and actually tighten down that screw. You could also use a coin or something like that to tighten this down. Just one thing to keep in mind when you're tightening this down, don't over tighten these screws. You don't have to go crazy. I haven't ever seen one of these break. I haven't heard of one break, but I would assume, just like anything in life, if you over tighten it, you potentially could break the arm on the Pano Bridge. So just use some common sense there. So the left one is already installed. We'll orient the second PVS-14 in the same fashion. Come under the bottom here, use my screwdriver, and we will tighten that down. So now we have two PVS-14's on the Pano Bridge, and one of the big benefits that people talk about liking a lot is the fact that you can actually pivot the Pano Bridge and get kind of a panoramic view with your PVS-14's. I can only speak from my experience. When I'm running the Pano Bridge with two PVS-14's, personally, I don't care about the panoramic aspect of it. To me, it kind of makes the eyepieces make two ovals. It's never a perfect screen. You get a little bit of overlap, at least for me. That might be different for you. You can look online and find other resources, other people that are running this. When I run a Pano Bridge with two PVS-14's, I tend to simply run it looking straight, just like you would with a set of binocular night vision devices. So after this is all set up like this, you would simply grab your favorite dovetail mount. I have a G24 here. You would clip it into place, and you would be able to mount this on any standard helmet. And this dovetail is designed to mil-spec, so if you have a mil-spec dovetail receiver, it's going to clip into place, and it's going to work just fine. Now at this point, if you would decide that you wanted to put an MH25 or another thermal monocular on one of your eyes and run a PVS-14 on the other eye, this is how we would go about doing that. The Pano Bridge ships with an MH rail adapter, which looks just like this guy. It's a little polymer 3D printed looking thing. I'm not sure if they're 3D printed. They could be injection molded, I'm not sure, but it's not a metal rail. This is some sort of a plastic polymer. There's a little Allen screw in the middle, and there's two different adjustments on this particular rail adapter. You get a little bit of adjustment. You can push it either out or in, and that's going to give you a little bit better positioning of the MH25. So in reality, you're probably going to have to mount it in one of the holes, test fit it, and you might need to make an adjustment. But installation of this rail on the unit is super simple. On the top of the MH25, there's just a little mini rail. I'm just going to slide that into place. The Allen size that we are using here is 3/32, and I'm just simply going to snug that up. Now again, like I said with the other pieces on the PanoBridge, I would not over tighten this because the threads are built into the polymer. I guarantee you could strip this out if you are too aggressive with your tightening. Now what we're going to do is remove the left PVS-14. In my opinion, if you're right-handed, I personally like running the MH25 over my left eye. I like the ability to be able to scan with my left eye. Sometimes I'll flip the other PVS-14 up out of the way so that I can shoot, or I can keep the right PVS-14 down, use a laser, illuminator, things like that. Then on the other side here now, we're going to actually have to remove this bolt on the pivot section of the PanoBridge. So the size that looks like it will work for that is 9/64. So I'm just simply going to loosen this up and then pull that screw out of its location here. Just with anything like this, always just be careful that you don't lose any nuts, you don't lose the screw itself. I like to work on a table like this with some sort of a mat that's going to catch this kind of stuff, because if you lose the screw, you're screwed. Onward. So now that we have the PVS-14 arm off of the PanoBridge, we would simply slide the MH25 rail adapter into position. We would line up the holes with whichever one of those adjustable holes you think would work best for you. And it might take you a couple tries to get it lined up perfectly, but once you do, it will slide right into place. So that screw just slides right into place. One thing to keep in mind, there is a nut on the other side here. I like to keep my pointer finger over that as I'm tightening and getting everything into position so that I don't lose the nut that is recessed in there. If you lose the nut, it's not going to tighten properly, and you're going to have to try to contact either us or probably Noise Fighters directly to get that nut again. So now what you will see is I have an MH25 on the left side and a PVS-14 on the right side. And this is a functional setup. The one thing that I'm going to say in this particular orientation, I don't really care about the panoramic function. Again, I just keep the units facing straight front. One thing that you will notice is the fact that you will need to run the PVS-14 eyepiece on your MH25 in order to get the eyepieces as close as possible to each other. They are not the same size unit when you're running MH25 versus PVS-14. We actually have a separate video where I install the AC14, the PVS-14 eyepiece adapter onto the iRay. I'll put a link to that down in the description. If you're thinking about buying an MH25, PanoBridge, or any of the bridges, this is an accessory you should consider because it's going to be needed to be perfectly functional on your bridge. One of the downsides to the PanoBridge that I see for myself, when I have this on my helmet and I hold it up to my eyes and I get everything situated, you'll notice that I have to have the MH25 at a bit of a cant. And the problem with that is the fact that it is a rectangular display. And because it's a rectangular display, it's not going to overlay perfectly. So when I'm running the PanoBridge, I typically cannot run the MH25 with the PVS-14 and they won't overlay in my brain because they're not perfectly flat and level. PVS-14, when you're looking through the objective, it's a circle. So it really doesn't matter if you tilt that thing way out to the side. A circle is a circle is a circle. It's always going to look correct to you through your eye. The MH25 isn't like that because of that rectangular display. So if you're trying to run a unit and run them in tandem and you want to be able to try to overlay them in your brain, the Mod Armory Bridge might be a better fit for you because it does have a little bit better adjustment. The other downside to the PanoBridge is the fact that once the units are put in place, there's no quick attach function to these. You have to unscrew them to get them apart. If you want to get your MH25 off, at minimum you have to loosen the Allen screw on the mini rail and slide it off. Again, not a deal breaker, but it's something to consider, and there are other options on the market if you don't think that this fulfills your needs. When we're looking at the positives of the PanoBridge, it is extremely lightweight because it is not a machined metal unit. It is not a heavy thing at all when you compare it to the Mod Armory. I don't know the exact weights of the two, but it is substantially lighter than the Mod Armory Bridge. Some people question the durability of the PanoBridge because of the fact that it is not a machined metal. I can say that we've used them very hard and in very harsh environments. In inclement weather, from very hot temperatures to extremely cold temperatures, we've never had an issue. I think if you abuse it and you're not using it properly, sure, you might experience a failure, but you could say that with any piece of gear that you would potentially run. Some people want that extra durability of aluminum, so if that is you, I would say the Mod Armory might be the better option for you. The cool thing is we've got tons of options on our website and tons of information about all of them. So if you want to read all the specifications about the PanoBridge and you want to see all the other products that we have on our website, there's a link down in the description. Hit that link, check it out. You're going to find all of that information, and you can purchase these things directly off of our website, which helps support us and helps us to continue doing the things that we're doing. Guys, if you found this video helpful, please hit the like button. Comment down below if you have any questions or you want us to dive deeper into any of the optics or units that we are talking about. And as always, we would super appreciate you guys subscribing to our channel. It means the world to us and it helps us to be able to reach more people with our content. We appreciate you. See you in the next one.